China trade. More talks this week in Washington. And maybe there's going to be a meeting, Trump, Xi Jinping, maybe next month. It's all up in the air. Curtis Ellis is with us, former Trump campaign trade and jobs advisor. Curtis, a lot of people think there's going to be just a superficial, cosmetic agreement, a handshake, that nothing will be done on the important areas of stealing intellectual hardware and stealing technology. You think that will be a disaster?
This week, in this meeting, this is China's last chance. It's the last chance for China to show that they are serious about making a deal. This is what the president was briefed on. This is what the president understands coming out of the Mar-a-Lago meeting on Saturday. Look, the president's attitude is, he has said to me in the past, a bad deal is worse than no deal at all. That's one of the Trump precepts, right, of in deal making and negotiation. A bad deal is worse than no deal at all. A non-existent memo of understanding with no enforcement, no timeline, and no way to actually address the structural imbalances, the IP theft, the cyber espionage, the subsidies, the deliberate targeting of American industries for elimination, is a bad deal. And he would get savaged from the left and the right. You would see Schumer and Pelosi and Sherrod Brown, and you would see Marco Rubio attacking him from the other side.
But how do you know that that's in the Memorandum of Understanding?
There is no Memorandum of Understanding, and that's what they've got to write this week. And if China thinks it can just get a deal by saying we're going to buy more soybeans, we're going to buy more natural gas, we're going to turn America into a resource colony for China, because that's exactly what that does, as I've written about, that's not going to cut it. So this is the last chance for China to show they are serious. And look, turning America into a resource colony is not good for the market. We don't need a bad deal. The stock market doesn't need a bad deal. America doesn't need a bad deal.
I don't think the stock market cares about the good or badness of the deal. They care about a deal. That's what they want.
Which is short-sighted thinking. And look, America, the stock market's done well.
Are you predicting that when this Memorandum of Understanding is written,
if it's written,
if it's written, when it's written, it will not contain convincing language about stopping intellectual property theft and all the rest of it?
Let me say this.
Will not do that.
Well, let me say this. China's friends in America, and they have many of them on Wall Street, have failed to convey to the Chinese leadership just how serious the president's resolve is. They've been putting out all this happy talk, and they've been concentrating on trying to persuade the president, oh, you need a deal, or the market's going to tank, and they think that's going to sway the president. They have failed to communicate to Xi Jinping and his coterie that the president is very serious about this. And this is the weakness of China's system. You've got a totalitarian, absolute monarch, an absolute leader there, and everybody wants to curry favor with him, and nobody wants to deliver the bad news.
And you know for a fact, having talked to the president about this, he will not sign what you think is a bad deal.
The president is very serious about making a deal because he knows that this is, to shift focus for a moment politically, this is one of the issues that got him elected and will get him reelected. Sure. And if he gives in on this, he can't sell it. He can't sell it to Marco Rubio on the right, where they will attack him, and he can't sell it to Schumer and Pelosi. And remember, this weekend he said he will bring Schumer and Pelosi into a deal. And they're not going to sit still and sign off on some superficial deal so they can give cover to the president.
Hardball president, that's for sure. Curtis, thank you very much indeed for the insight.